Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer, and I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego of the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes if you feel like being a lurker. You can go ahead and lurk, and that's also okay. It's a Monday, and I got model kit to start, a brand new kit to start. I've got some conversation to have about some Summer Game Fest related things from the weekend, a couple updates to some stories. Maybe we'll talk about a wrestling show that happened on Saturday. We might get to that. I don't know. Lord Crashington just resubbed a tier 1. That's 71 months saying keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Lord Crashington. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Lord Crashington for the continued support. It means a lot. Appreciate you very much for doing that. Let's throw some emotes into the chat. There we go. Emotes coming in. Very cool. Yeah, so we got some things to talk about. Got some things to build. It'll be good. It'll be a good time. We'll go to the overhead camera right here. There we are. Overhead camera right there. As we work on the Gundam Nadleeh, which is the Weird Beard Gundam. I've called this before, and I stand by it. It does look like the facial hair is wild on this one. It's got like, you know, a long ponytail and then a weird beard. This kit does have some rubberized parts, as you can see here. That the front parts and the back and the side pieces are all rubber. So that's fun. We got that going for us, which is nice. So we'll have that going there. This is a kit from 2008. This is a reissue, so the plastic is not from 2008, but the design is from then. So we've got that. We have some amount of polycaps, not a ton of polycaps, but an amount of polycaps. And we do unfortunately have a fuck ton of stickers. So many stickers. So many color correcting stickers. It's just so many of them. Some of the eye stickers and the like, of course, there are going to be a lot of those. But there are a few out here that is just like, this is a wild amount. This is an egregious amount of stickers. What are we doing here? And also, because this is 2008, these are not numerically numbered. I can easily identify their symbols, which does make it a little harder for me personally, that these are symbols I don't immediately recognize, as opposed to numbers, which Arabic numbers, which I can immediately recognize and go, yes, sticker number 7, instead of going, okay, so this one is the sticker that is a U that is turned on its side. Okay, it's that sticker, which would be this one. This one is U. Is the U on its side. It's that sticker, which is the first sticker we'll do in a bit. So yeah, a couple clear parts here that we will get into. Right now we will start by doing what I believe to be the shoulders. We'll get into the shoulder joints, get those connected, and we'll get into that in just right now, basically. Why wait, Pat? You ask, and today I would answer that. No reason. Just get these out while I'm here. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing good out there on the old intranet. I'm doing just fine. Excited to hang out with everybody tonight, chat about some things and things. Let's see here what we got going on. Okay, yeah. Got a few folks here tonight. Not a huge number. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. Doesn't have to be. Oh, we are currently at 31 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have at 40. I will say this. The first unlock for my birthday bash, my birthday subathon, the first unlock is at 30 subscribers, and we won't quite be there because there were some gifted subs last month that will then, probably not get renewed. Occasionally people renew, but not always. So it will take a little while to get back up to 30, but I should add that photo. You know what? I don't know if I have. I don't think I've just realized. I don't think I have gotten that photo here in OBS. Let me get that together here. Here, it would be this one. Okay, yes. So let's download this photo to PNG. Then open that PNG and rename it. Rename it birthday. Rename it birthday, and then move it to the proper folder. I have done the thing I needed to do. This is a thing I could have done anytime today and didn't. But that's fine, because I'm doing it right now. We're doing it live, as they say. Birthday. Here it is. Here is the birthday promo photo image. You can see that as I remove some parts here. I'll just kind of briefly chat about it so you can see what it says there. Live show, folks. Yeah, we're doing it live. Yeah, indeed, Lord Christian. So it'll be my 41st birthday subathon, which will be Friday the 20th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern until ? Which will probably be 7:30 p.m. because 4 hours is kind of the vibe for my subathons. I guess I could go longer if there's a bunch of stuff that last minute a bunch of subs came in, so I owe people the rewards, so I gotta keep going, that kind of thing. But 4 hours is kind of my limit. At 30 subs, I will make myself in WWE 2K25. I've done that previously, and I'm happy to do it again. But I'll make myself in WWE 2K25 if I hit the 30 subscribers. Again, we're over 30 right now, but it'll drop down before we get there. At 50 subscribers, I will start up a Jackbox Survey Scramble game for everybody to play along with, and we should have a good crew for that, so that'll be fun. It's been a while since we played that, and there's some new prompts that got added. No new modes, but some new prompts, so we can check that out. That'll be nice. And then at 70 subscribers, I will sing some anime songs. It'll be a sing-along, not a karaoke. It'll be just a straight-up sing-along, because there are songs that I would like to sing, but unfortunately they are not available with karaoke, but they are available as just, like lyrics on there. So we'll do a sing-along of some anime songs. I believe 4 anime songs I have decided on. That number could change, could fluctuate, but right now there are 4 that I would like to do, and only one of them that I am super uncomfortable with at the moment. So we'll do it. Turns out I don't know all the words to a song that I've known for 2 decades plus, but apparently don't actually know all the lyrics to it. Thought I did. And then at 90 subscribers, I will, of course, drink Monster Milk, which is 1 part Monster Energy drink, 1 part milk, equal parts. It's like a glass. I'll make this smaller so you can see. It's like a glass like this, and half of that will be Monster Energy drink, and half of it will be milk. It's water now. Monster Energy drink and water is just Coward's energy drink. And I'm a lot of things. But as far as I know, not a coward. And then at 40, 60, and 80 subscribers, I will do 2 wrestling promos for each milestone. I have 8 wrestling promos to perform for you, and I will perform them 2 at a time, because that felt like the way to do that bit of business there. That would work out pretty okay and be fun. And then there'll be Hearthstone, because that's always an easy thing for me to just play on stream. And also, I'll have some CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K25 already done, and then I will do live commentary for them matches for you, the audience. And again, that is to celebrate my 45th birthday. And you might say to yourself, Pat, I'm pretty sure that Monster Milk was a thing that you said you would do last year. And yes, that's true. And then I didn't get to the number, so I didn't do it. So I'm bringing that back. The last time I did was my birthday subathon, was the McNuggathon. I want to say that was the McNuggathon when I decided to do that. And that I thought was a fun thing. And so I might do another cumulative one in the future, but this time around I decided to do that. Like, the idea was every subscriber was a McNugget, and I'm like, kind of want to try to figure out how to do that again, another version of that, but I don't know when I would do that particular challenge again. That kind of challenge. It wouldn't be exactly that challenge, it would be that kind of challenge again. All right, so I need polycaps, and I need A23 and A24. Those are really tiny. Okay, so let's see if I can remove this piece without losing it, because these are very small. So I am currently holding the piece here and snipping it instead of, yeah, okay, so that way I still have the piece. That is 24, and so I need piece 23, which is the same here. And once again, I will hold it while I'm snipping it, which will hopefully mean that I don't lose it. It doesn't fly somewhere. Okay, and that's 23, and that goes over there. And then I need polycaps A and A. Again, not a lot of polycaps here, so this shouldn't be too big of a deal. Before I get into some news stuff here, I'll just say real quick that I did clean this computer yesterday. I don't think I did it in May, so this is my reminder to all y'all to clean your computers. You know, use canned air if you got, you know, or in my case, I got a rechargeable dust blower. Cleaned everything out. Cleaned the glass that's in there and polished that up real nice. Try to dig around and find some stuff that I didn't know needed cleaning in there, because there's always something. But yeah, I don't think I did it in May, but I did make sure to do it in June at least. So got that cleaned. I will say, when I put, it was probably like 2 years ago now, or maybe a year ago, that I got a better cooler. Thank you to Aristofan for that. Got a better cooler for my computer. The dust that gets collected in there is a lot more, because that cooler is working fucking overtime. All right. Yeah, this is not fitting in. This piece has to fit in like this. It's like not. Okay, there we go. Really pressing that in there, because I do not want this to pop out. Do not want to deal with that. That would be very annoying if that caused me a problem. Working with some small pieces, because this kit, if I remember correctly, the Nadleeh lived inside of another Gundam. There were some stuff in this series of like kits that had that were core units and had big armor that flew in on top of it, and then there was this kit which lived inside of another kit. So it is a little small, and therefore the smaller pieces are pretty small. Not all of them, but some of them are. Okay, that did not. That's in there. Okay. One of these is more in than the other, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. All right. So then those go there, and then we'll build the chest piece here, which is A27. Get that together here. The front, which will have our first sticker of the stream. Just a dark sticker that then a piece of clear plastic goes over. Works out fine for me. So let's get that clear piece out. A3 right there. Nice little clear circle. All right, let's go through some stuff here. You may remember that the head of 1047, the studio which is bringing us Slipgate 2, you may remember that the head of that studio wore a Make FPS Great Again shirt, or hat, I should say, hat to the Summer Game Fest. And then a lot of people, myself included, were like, well, that's an easy way for me to know not to play a fucking video game. There's so many video games out there. It's nice to be able to just go, I'm not playing that one. Don't give a shit about that. And he took some shots at Call of Duty and not wanting another Call of Duty and how there need to be other games that aren't Call of Duty and all that. So then people were rightly critical to be like, okay, so you don't want to make a Call of Duty. How come you got a skin that microtransaction that cost $80 fucking dollars? And the head of a studio is like, it's a mistake that happened. And also, it's not my fault. It's the fault of a former employee who used to work on Call of Duty. Which is just like the most brain dead thing. It's like, wait. So somebody who used to work there made up the prices on the way out and worked at the punching bag you created for yourself, Call of Duty. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, my guy? An $80 skin bundle called Nano Swarm quickly made the rounds. A silver-colored portal animation from the Nano Swarm bundle alone was originally priced at $34. Yes, that one guy that left, he made all these bad decisions. Yes, this is a Splitgate 2 guy walks on stage wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat, proceeds to announce Splitgate 2 Battle Royale mode, Imagine Dragons in trailer, open the game, 3 currencies, Battle Pass, and $34 portal skin that makes your portal white. And of course, he is posting through it. They've slashed prices on cosmetics. And again, I guess I thought I would just candidly tell you exactly what happened. So I'll start by saying, no excuse, of course. Like, I should have been on this. We should have been on top of this, which is like, yes. And there would be the benefit of the doubt if you weren't clearly a piece of shit. But since you are letting us know that you are demanding that we look at you, like, this guy didn't have to do any of this. He didn't have to post. He didn't have to try to explain himself. He didn't have to do Summer Game Fest. They could have just paid to have their trailer go and have Jeff Keighley say some nice thing about it. But he got on stage, which just feels like such a unbelievable self-own. Just such a colossal fuck up. Like a total misread of everything. And then again, to be posting through it and then... the second I got off the stage, I called Derek, our lead game designer, and I said, Derek, did you know we had an $80 bundle? This is news to me. Like, what the heck? That makes no sense. And he didn't. So he's saying that the head of the studio and the lead game designer didn't know the price of a bundle of their fucking video game, which is what an incredible, unbelievable, true idiotic statement or very dumb lie. Unbelievable. Essentially what happened, our former head of monetization, who happens to come from Call of Duty, was with us for less than a year and was very aggressive on price. Actually, prior to his departure, we originally had Founders Packs for $100 and Battle Passes for $10. And the first thing Derek and I did when we reevaluated everything a month was slash those things so Founders went from $100 to $60. And we actually added in-game currency that the game originally wasn't going to have. We decreased the Battle Pass from $10 to $5, but unfortunately, things slipped through the cracks. It's just... don't blame me. I'm the little guy. I'm the owner of the studio. Me and the head of the studio, or the head designer, didn't know that this evil guy who worked here for a year, that came from Call of Duty, by the way, put in all of this monetization without us noticing. It's just amazing. I did find out the studio behind the CTF game Last Flag was founded by Imagine Dragons manager and lead singer. That was neat. Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, Imagine Dragons. They exist as a band today because somebody wanted to make a musical about Spider-Man. And then they made a bunch of music for that. And then The Edge wanted to make music for a musical about Spider-Man. And Imagine Dragons had all these fucking songs. And so they just put out an album. And that's why we know who Imagine Dragons are. Because The Edge decided he wanted to make music for the Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark instead of that. And that is a true story. And that's why that song is called Radioactive. Because it's fucking about Spider-Man. That song's like about goddamn Spider-Man. That's unfortunately all I know about all the fun facts I have for Imagine Dragons. If there are other fun facts about Imagine Dragons, I apologize. I don't know them. But I do know that. And it's a pretty fun fact. This popped out, which I don't like. So, yeah, so, and also, must also say that the studio was also defending the very high prices that they have for cosmetics. The official Splitweight 2 account posted on Friday, this pack features our most unique skins with complex animations and artwork. We have a variety of cheaper options. The game is free to play, and if you don't need to buy anything to enjoy it for the fullest, nothing is pay to win and never will be. So they were already defending it instead of just going, oops, we fucked up. They were like, no, we didn't fuck up. This cost a lot of money. Honestly, the store and its prices feel really like something out of a gacha game, except for the fact I don't think I know of any gachas that have you pre-order battle passes, wrote one player. Great gameplay, terrible business model, wrote another. So yeah, people are fucking super psyched. About Splitgate 2. An unbelievable self-fucking-own. Alright, so this piece is not staying in place, and I don't know why. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat. When in doubt, cheat. Persona 4 Revival is coming out. There was a talk of that voice actor who was like, they didn't ask me to come back for it. They don't want me back to do my voice. Probably because he wasn't in the anime and they're just going to use the anime voice actors for the dub. I don't know. But that was the first time people had officially heard that, hey, they're going to make a remake of Persona 4. And the answer to that is, yeah, they are making a remake to Persona 4. Apparently, it's called Revival. The trailer was like nothing. It was just, hey, look, it's the main character walking around. It's you. It's Charlie. Or whatever you called him. Doesn't have a release date. The teaser is nothing. Yeah, Yuri Lowenthal was like, And maybe they put the teaser out because Yuri was talking, and so they wanted to have something, but I don't know. It's going to be on Xbox and PC and PS5. Hopefully all at the same time, since it's the fucking remake. Hopefully there won't be a PC delay. This is a big question that I have, which is like, man, the way I enjoy Persona 4 these days is every couple of years I play Persona 4 with a bunch of mods and cheats. Do I want to do that again? Do I want to play Persona 4 Revival? And I don't have an answer for you, which is probably means not really. Like, I probably don't actually want to do that, which is a weird thing for me to say, because I really fucking love Persona 4. It is one of my favorite video games of all time. It it sometimes is my favorite video game that I've ever played in my life. And I don't know if I need to do a remake. Again, that doesn't involve me. I mean, if it's on PC, then people will figure out cheats and various things, and there'll be some fun things with it. But like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I want to like go back in. Some work will need to be done on the writing end to make the game not annoying in a lot of ways for a few of the main characters. Yeah, I mean, like, one would hope, right? One would hope that if they're doing Persona 4 again, then they would make Yosuke less homophobic. That would be great. That they would... There's a lot of like good acceptance of a character that could be trans, who ultimately isn't trans, that could be reworked into something interesting. Because like the discussion of this girl wants to be like, this girl like is just too smart for her own good, and in order to appease people, she has to become, in what in her mind is a really important, like the best detective in the world. But boys are detectives, girls aren't detectives, so she has to pretend to be a boy. And then her truth is that she can be feminine if she wants to, which is maybe not the truth that people were hoping for. And then also, if it's going to include stuff from Golden, then you gotta take out that scene where Kanji becomes a fucking nerd and stops bleaching his hair and starts wearing glasses, because that shit is just bad and I don't like it. And they probably won't take out the part where Chie wants to become a cop by the end. Like, they probably won't change that part. They certainly could change that part, where she just decides she's just gonna work in the town and whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff they could do. There's a bunch of quality of life stuff they could do. There's a bunch of lessons that they hopefully learned in... All right, what am I going to do here? How does this fit in? There's a bunch of lessons they could have learned, and maybe they will have learned those lessons. Oh, okay. So it goes into this. But I don't know. Yes, totally. But yeah, I don't think that I don't know. Also, they're not going to put it on Switch 2, or they haven't announced they are, which feels weird. But I have really nothing to say about the Rogue Xbox thing. I don't know. I am not the target demographic for it. I am just not. I am not the right person to talk about the this handheld. Like, I don't know. I have no interest in any of these things myself. I don't have much to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. Smart to partner with somebody, have Asus do it instead of having them to have to do it. Like, yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. If you're gotta do a handheld, if you gotta do your thing, you gotta do your Steam Deck, you might as well partner with somebody that's already making something. Like, sure, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like, oh, this is such a good idea and everybody's really killing it with this. I'm just like, yeah, all right. We got tiny stickers to apply, everybody. We got some tiny stickers here. We got so many fucking stickers for this goddamn thing. But let's get these tiny front stickers on here. These are the ones with the line. These are going to be small. They're going to go in here and there. So I got to figure out which ones those are. Should be tiny. All right, so let's see. This is a line on top, and oh yeah, these are small. Wait, is that right? Hard to identify. It's not that one. That one? No. God, I'm so glad they eventually changed these around. Let me see here what color that's supposed to be on the big image there. Those appear to be like black, maybe? They're hard to see. Maybe that's black or gray. So if it's gray, then that would be this one. Is not that simple. Eventually this will be easier because I'll have put on a bunch of these here. So it'll be a lot easier to identify. Is it this one? Nope, that's not the right symbol. Is it this one? That might be the right symbol. No, these are circular, so that's not right. I need little tiny ones. So like that. I need 2 of them. That's only 1. This symbol? No. Oh, it's over here. Okay, I found them. I found them, everybody. Don't freak out. It's this symbol. Dark gray, very tiny. Very tiny sticker. Oop, that popped out. All right, now I got to do the other one on the other side. Again, very tiny stickers. I'm also still not 100% convinced that's the right sticker. I think that's the right sticker. I hate that I'm not 100% sure on it. But these symbols are tough, and there's a lot of stickers that look similar. But that's... Oops. All right. Yeah, this one was the wrong sticker. As I said, when they just went into numbers that I could easily read, it made my life a lot easier. There we go. This is the sticker I wanted. Yep, that fits better than the other one. And then I just used the toothpick here to kind of mash it down. Hey, Lashbrook, welcome, welcome. Okay, yeah, so I don't have much to say about that handheld. Sorry. The only thing about Money in the Bank that I want to talk about, I think Seth Rollins and Naomi are both the right winners for their individual Money in the Bank briefcases. Naomi's been doing an incredible job on this heel run, and it's awesome that she gets to be more of an asshole with the briefcase. I think that's fantastic, because she'll be like trying to get that, and I know she's also feuding with like 2 other people, and it's going to be a whole lot of nonsense for her, and I think that's very fun. All right, so I need D1 and D2. D1 and D2 have to go in here, and then I can put that together, and they fold down, and then the other ones go on the head. And then there's some stickers that have to go on the side, and we'll deal with that in a second. But let's get D1 and D2 together here. Get our rubber pieces here. We'll get those in. There's D1, and we'll do D2. The other thing was that R-Truth is back, or excuse me, Ron Killings is back, because he's only coming back there. I I am not. I should say. R-Truth was released. His contract was not renewed and went up, so it wasn't a release. It was a non-renewal, which does happen in wrestling, certainly. There is plenty of people out there who are convinced that that this has all been a work. This is a great little play. Oh, that was the thing you were alluding to last week. Oh, okay, yeah. That his appearance there was like the plan all along. I do not to be the case. I do not think that's the case. I do not think that the WWE are that fucking clever to pull that shit off. I just don't see that as a thing they could do. Okay, so this is the ones that go on here. Yeah, I don't give them enough credit for that shit. I don't think they have it in them to pull off that kind of scam. In my opinion, it's much more likely that people in that match, like Cody and Cena and Punk and whoever, were like, well, what if we had R-Truth come out and attack Cena? Like, that would be interesting. And so they were like, hey, do you want to come do this? And he was like, you have to call me Ron Killings. Because he knows that this is going to be a temporary deal, and then he'll have the opportunity to take that his real name when he's on the road doing other stuff. I think it's really smart. On the Truth Killings. But yeah, I thought that was a weird thing that happened, but I was like, I'm into it. I'm into it. I'm happy that was the big reveal. I think that is a fun thing. It makes the crowd feel like they're a big part of the shoe, like they have the influence on it. And it's a feel-good little fun moment. I don't know. I thought it was pretty neat. But apparently that came together real quick. Basically, as soon as that Monday where the crowd was chanting, "We want truth," apparently that was in play. They were like, "Oh, we can switch the ending and do this instead, and it'll be very cool, and the fans will be fucking into it." But yeah, get your money, Truth. Get paid for that. That's the biggest takeaway out of that. Nothing much else there other than continuing to say that Mr. Iguana is over and that rules. People are super into Mr. Iguana. Apparently, the reason why he was in the crowd, with the whole like, oh, and also here is Mr. Iguana. The reason why that happened was just because he got over so big at Worlds Collide that they were like, book him, get him over here. And they're very pleased with how that's working out. People are into Mr. Iguana, which makes sense because it's a silly, fun gimmick that people can get behind. And so I am not surprised that people are getting behind a silly, fun gimmick. All right, we are done with the chest. We're going to panel line this thing, add a little bit of a gray and a little bit of black here before we work on the head, which also has stickers to put on it because, of course, it does. But those will be less difficult to apply than some of these weird tiny stickers. They'll be slightly bigger, but not much. And we'll do a little bit. Let's see, is there anything on here? No, just leave that. My phone thought I was talking to it, which I was not. A little bit about Day of the Devs. We can talk a little bit about that. I mentioned a little bit Snap and Grab, the No Goblin folks working on that. Eric Pope, image of Eric Pope is in there. That game looked pretty neat and fun. That was a standout from Day of the Devs. Really strong Day of the Devs. Plenty of cool shit being talked about on there. I'm just going to talk about some of the highlights from what I watched. Mixtape. Which is the Artful Escape devs working on the next game from them, which looks really fun. Lots of nonsense and being rebellious teens and all that. Skateboard and fireworks. There's a theme park in there. And they spent a bunch of money on licensed music, so don't play it on stream, because there's like they spent a bunch of money on music from like the 90s. So good luck for them. But that looked neat. It's going to be on Game Pass day one. That looked pretty cool. The Guacamelee folks, Drinkbox Studios, have Blighted, which looks unbelievable. That looks incredible. If the actual game looks anything like the treatment of the trailer, that's gonna be a gorgeous looking fucking video game. God damn. It's a isometric Metroidvania, and that's beautiful to look at. It's unbelievably gorgeous. Incredible scenes from that particular game. Lots of brain eating, says Lord Crashington. Indeed. And apparently you can play it by yourself or in co-op, and that's fun. And apparently it gets harder the better. Like, it understands the kind of way you're cheesing the game, and it gets harder as you go, and can, between the solo play or co-op play, it'll kind of change the match you. Apparently that's a big thing they're working on for this, which is impressive sounding. Hopefully they pull that off, but it sounds fucking good. Sounds good and cool. Let's see. And there'll be a demo of that later. Possessors is by Heart Machine, who you may know from Hyper Light Drifter, and they're working with Devolver on this one, which is another Metroidvania, but this was a brawler, and there's just like a bunch of fucking monsters you got to beat the shit out of. You and your spirit friend ? Are getting in there and busting some heads and beating up some asshole monsters. Looks pretty neat. Please watch the artwork. Looks fucking wild. It is the sequel to Please Touch the Artwork, which was a great name, and then the sequel also has a great name. Now, do I like the spot the difference kinds of games? No, I don't really like them. I don't want to play them. I don't even really want to watch people play them. I don't really want to watch streamers play them or anything. But impressive names, and it looked interesting. It's just like anomaly reporting the genre is just not my bag and not my style. I think the closest I got to liking one of those is No Exit. I thought that was at least interesting. I think that was the name of the game. If that's not the name of the game, I apologize. But that one I at least found interesting. But yeah, I don't, not my style, not my vibe. But trailer looked good. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it looks real good. She-Hulk's in there. I was like, yeah, this just fucking looks good. It's my kind of nostalgia. It's hitting me right. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, yeah, this reminds me of the X-Men arcade game. And it's just like, yeah, I'm in. I'm probably getting that this year. Yeah. Relooted looked pretty neat. At the very least, any Marvel characters you want in that. I mean, like Groot. I'd like to use tree powers to beat people up. Big tall Groot. Have some combo moves with Rocket Raccoon. Like have Rocket Raccoon like on my arm so they can shoot from high up or something. Like, I don't know. But yeah, let me be Groot. That would be neat. Relooted is a game about stealing artifacts from museums who obviously stole those artifacts and returning them. And that's fucking an awesome game. The fact that it's made by a studio out of South Africa. Just like, fuck yeah. I mean, like, it's awesome. Like, if it's fun, even better. But the premise is so fucking strong. And it looked great. But I love the premise of steal back stolen artifacts from museums. Like, fuck yeah. That sounds rad as hell. Okay. Now, let's work on the head and put together more of the weird pieces here, and then we'll get our weird beard assembled. And for that, we need A13 and an A14. Now, there's also stickers that have to go into 13 and 14, and I'm actually going to do the stickers before I start putting the pieces in, because I think it'll be easier to do. So I'll do the stickers first. Dirty, yes. Oftentimes, Indiana Jones is you are stealing, you are taking artifacts from people that stole them out of indigenous people's burials, and then putting them in a museum. But in this case, you're taking them out of the museum and you're putting them back with the people that, you're putting them back with the wrong. So yes, it is a bit of an anti-indie, you could say. So yes, I'm going to do these stickers now instead of waiting to do them later. This will be sticker. Let's see, that's 2. So this is 14 goes for that one. So, but again, I have to stare at these to make sure I'm getting the right ones here, because I'm bad at doing this. Yes, it's this one here. The sticker goes on this, like this. Let's see. Any other games that stood out to me from Rataton is cool. Rataton is just I think I kind of casually mentioned Rataton on our Saturday stream, that Rataton just looks like it's just somebody made a Patapon game, and like, fuck yeah, dude, make your Patapon game. That's cool. But yeah, it looks like a Patapon spiritual successor, and that looks neat. This sticker is stuck in here. I have applied the sticker poorly, and so I am trying to fix my mistake. Holy shit. I mangled the sticker. Alright, I've gotten the sticker out of... separated from the plastic, and now I will try to fix it. There it is. Okay. Now, can I apply this back properly? Oops. No. I'll have to do the little trick here. I backed that game on Kickstarter, so I'm excited to play it early access next month, says Lord Crashington. Hell yeah, Lord Crashington. That's awesome. Enjoy. And then I'm applying the sticker here. Anyone else? Consume Me. Yeah. That one stood out to me. I mean, I've certainly seen this art style in a few indie titles, so it wasn't necessarily like a new thing for me. But it was appealing. It did look cool. And the description of being a teenager sucks, so we made a video game about it is like, yeah, all right. Like, that's enough, right? That's a phenomenal log line for a game. Being a teenager sucks, so we made a video game about being a teenager. And it's just like, yeah, all right. That's coming out later this year. You're Jenny. You have to, like, in your senior year of high school, and you're trying your fucking best. But again, being a teenager sucks, so it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. That was a fun trailer. Like I said, Day of the Devs, really solid. Clearly, they did a really good job of curating this year. And they always do a good job. But yeah, really stood out. Some things really stood out. The game that brought out the reason, the game that inspired Undertale is coming out. Featured two of the back games, Mina the Hollower and Ratatan. Oh, nice. But yeah, Off, the video game Off, which came out in 2008. A very small RPG called Off, which would then inspire Undertale. Is coming out with new soundtrack, revamped combat, and six new bosses, featuring a baseball man. Yes. But you look at it and you go, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. That makes sense. It makes sense that this is what led to Toby Fox being like getting inspired to make Undertale. And you're like, yeah, I could see this. I get why this worked for him and why he was like, yeah, I want to make a game. Like the inspiration like makes sense to me looking at the trailer. I was like sort of aware of it. Was there anything else? Unbeatable looks fucking cool. Unbeatable looks real cool. I am interested in knowing more about that game. Because it looks pretty rad. And yeah, we saw the band play, which is a band that's in the rhythm action game Unbeatable. They're from D-Cell Games. And it very clear to me is just like, yeah, I mean, like, rhythm action is a genre that people are still looking for more of. Like, there's still people out there pining for the good. So, yeah, that looks like a good one of those. All right, we'll put that on there. And then I need to put that on. And then I need D5. Gotta get D5 out of here. And then D5 goes like here. How do you work? Where do you hook in? I gotta make sure the beard fits right, because why aren't you working? I don't want this to pop out. Okay. It's kind of just got to go like that. But it doesn't want to stay in place. There. Oh, no, I thought I had it, but I didn't. This is unbelievably frustrating to get in. I did read about this. I did read what people who are complaining about this kit and how getting the rubber pieces to stay was frustrating. But I didn't think it'd be this frustrating. Let me try doing the other one, because maybe there was like a secret that I don't understand about how the other one goes in, and it'll make this one work better for me. Rubber there. All right, so this one, it looks like this, and it's got to go like that. The problem is my cheat method won't really work on this, because my cheat method is liquid cement, and liquid cement is not gonna, it shouldn't anyway. Liquid cement isn't gonna really work on that, I don't think. Yeah, this one doesn't want to stay. I got the other one to go. Okay, I got that one. Oh, it came out. All right, well, that's frustrating. Let me get the piece I need to put on here. Of course, this has a bunch of stickers on it because it's the front of the face here. So A12 and A11. We'll do that. We'll take a pause in a little bit, talk about ways you can support the channel and all that. Then we'll talk about some anime and stuff. I'm going to try to get this head done here before we take the pause for the cause, because all of these pieces are very tiny. And I know I'm just going to get worse at it as it goes, so try to get these together here. Okay. All right, so there's so many stickers that go on the head here. We'll figure it all out. Okay, so first I need the eye sticker is this one. The easiest sticker to identify. Well, there's two that are easy. Let's see here. Oops. We got a color correcting sticker here that is very frustrating because it is a tiny thing that has to kind of like line up perfectly and then fold over an already small piece. Not my favorite to do, but we'll make it work. We'll get as much of it together as we can. One of the benefits of this being a reprint, no matter when it came out, it's not from 2008, so these stickers are all still good and should all still work, because sometimes you do run into that problem. If you're doing a really old, like 90s kit, sometimes 90s kits, the stickers don't work at all. And that's really frustrating. So that should be good. That should hold there. And then I need this one. Which is the eyes. And then a very unusual thing. It's the two eyes, and then the top folds over. So the top of it is black as well. Oh, come on. Come on. Like I said, lots of tiny stickers on this kit. We'll do I'll always do my best with it, but. Oh, and that's gonna go. We're gonna cheat a little bit here. Okay. And I'm going to use my jewelry tweezers here to hold the piece in place, because my fingers are so stubby that this should make things easier to apply the sticker here. Oops, nope, came right off. Come on. All right. I don't know why this sticker doesn't want to go on that easy, but it doesn't want to stay on, which is frustrating. Okay. All right, and then this has to fold in here. Oh, that little piece came out, which we don't want. All right, yeah, that kind of holds it in place. So we need this to be like this here. Oop. I'm going to mostly adhere this here, and then I will just kind of shove this in, try to get it to stay right, and then close it. I think that might be the best way to do this. I don't know. I'm just afraid these things are going to pop out, and it's going to be really hard to get it back in. All right. Hopefully this isn't going to come out. And we got our weird beard connected. Nope, it did come out. Damn it. I knew it would. All right, so we're going to open this up again. Kind of try to shove this in where it needs to go. All right, hopefully that won't come out again, because I don't want to have to keep opening up this face every time. And then we still have some stickers and stuff to apply here. Or we got oh yeah, I got to put on clear parts here. Clear pieces have to go on, and then some stickers have to go on the head here on either side of this, and then a piece in the back, and then a sticker that has to go on the on there, on the end of the world, and supply. Okay, so we have more to do with the head and some more stickers to apply, but it's not that big of a deal, and we will get to that after the pause for the cause. Oh, leaf blower. I wanted to mention that about that was my big takeaway from the Wholesome Direct. It was early in the Wholesome Direct, but I do want to say leaf blower looked fun. That's a Pat Baer-esque game right there. Just a lumberjack looking character blowing leaves. I was like, yeah, I'm into that. I will endeavor to check that out in the future. I want to quickly check one quick thing here before we take our pause to the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel and all of that. We'll get into that in just a moment here. I just have to quickly change a thing in my Nightbot commands, which I forgot to change. I'm going to do that right now. And then I need to check to see what one. Okay. Tomorrow I will be playing Islands and Trains. That is a game that I received a code for. You can probably guess what kind of game it is. It should be really fun. Again, I did receive a code for that, but this is not a sponsored stream or anything of that nature. But yeah, that's going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I just mentioned that right there. Now it's part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you, about ways that you can support me and what I do here. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you are not a subscriber, please consider doing that. You could also gift a sub. That would be cool. You could do that. You could be the first person this month to gift a sub. Trying to get to 40. Shut up about that at 40 until my birthday subathon, and then I'm going to try to get to 90. So, which is more than 40. So that's the goal for the subathon. But right now we're just hanging out. Thank you, Lashbrook, for throwing those emotes in the chat. If you want to join my Patreon, you could do that at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. We'd love to have you over there if you want to be over there on the Patreon. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBaer. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free. And if you want, you can become a member. And for just $2 a month, you will get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you will get the next mecha series that I talked about for my ongoing video series, Kuma Baer. More on Kuma Baer later. But yeah, you'll get to see that before other people do. Now, those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to throw $1 or $2 in the tip jar, you can always do that at my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, which I have included links right there. If you're watching this later on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? You can find all this in the show description. If you're watching this later on the VOD here on Twitch, what's up? What up, Twitch VOD watchers? All of that is in the chat, so you can just go and find those there. Let's see. Now, this kit I bought with support from you in the past. You, a subscriber on any one of those feeds, helped me buy this kit. Past you is helping out present me. And I have a backlog of stuff that I'm always happy to work on. And if you look at, you can say, like, Pat, actually, I'd like to decide what you build next. Well, you can always go to my Amazon wish list and buy something for me to build. I will make a dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, and it will jump the queue and become the next thing that I work on, because that's the least I could do. I would love to. It's also my birthday this month. I keep mentioning it, but that's true. It's my birthday. So if you wanted to celebrate my birthday, which is on June 23rd, we're celebrating it on the 20th, you could buy something for me to build. I have a jigsaw puzzle on here that is the cheapest it's ever been. It's a good price. If you want to get that for me to build. I have model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits go on sale all the time, kits that never seem to go on sale. Speaking of which, the Mega Pokemon Geodude is on sale. And that Geodude will move, the arms will move around a little bit. That's fun. A bunch of things in there. Model kits, Lego sets, stuff I'd be happy to build. Stuff that would be like very frustrating for me to build, but I still do it because I put it on the list. But yeah, if you see something there you'd like to see me put together, you can always pick that up and I'd be happy to build it. The Jacked Duga is on sale from Char's Counterattack, which I believe is the last of the red kits, the red Char kits that I haven't built. I think it's the last one. So if you want me to complete my collection. Oh, that's not true. Well, it is true. The Seed Freedom Zagok is a red one, but it's not. It's from Seed Freedom, so it's not Char's. Let's see. Other things. My alternative to Amazon is Throne. I got a Throne wish list. If you want to buy something from there for me to build, you could do that as well. And if you are like, Pat, I would like to buy you something for you to build, but I need to involve a lot of steps and be really convoluted. Well, here you go. You go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. Then you send me, you get an email with the gift card code. With that gift card code, I will buy something for USA Gundam Store. And the way to get that code is to whisper me on Twitch or send me a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon. Those are the ways to support me if you are looking to do that. I'm sorry. This is the time where I look at message requests on Twitter, and they're all just spam stuff. So I just have to get out of all of that because I don't check it normally. And then send me that, and then I'll buy a kit from USA Gundam Store. That's my promise to you. Let's see. Just checking an email here. Okay. All right. I did get an update from my AdSense. My AdSense did update. It usually takes a few days to update. And I am currently at $84. When I hit $100, I'll actually be able to take that $100 out. And right now, I made $3.26 last month. which is pretty cool. Happy with that. It's not a lot of money, but it's not $0. So that's nice. That's a nice little thing. What else was I going to say? If you want to support me and not spend any money while doing it, you can just hang out in my Discord. Join my Discord. We'd love to have you over there in the old Discord if you would like to be in there. And then let's see. Couple video links for you to check out. Hey, I put up a new episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club up today. Episode 151. That's right. I've done 150 of these plus ones that are not numbered, but whatever. And the most recent one, which came out today, is me talking about how this season, the spring 2025 season, is the return of girls doing things. The subgenre of girls doing things, often referred to as cute girls doing cute things, which I don't necessarily agree with, because you don't have to be cute. You're just girls doing some stuff, and it's usually pretty low stakes. We've eaten very well in that category in the past, but it's been a little dry. Last year was real dry for it. This year was pretty much a ghost town until now. But we got it. We got a plethora. And so I talked about several of them that I think are great. I make the case for why one show should be considered a girls doing things, even though it's a music show. But it's a drama, so some people don't consider it that. But I'm like, it fits in the category. And yeah, at the very least, you could be like a person that commented on this video saying, oh, you're telling me stuff that I should keep an eye on, which is what I want to do. I want to make things that you will see and go, oh, I would like to do that because I would like to watch that because Pat recommended it. Like, that's my goal, is to do these things, is to have somebody find their next favorite anime. That's the hope, or at least something to watch. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. This month, I'm talking about my favorite mecha shows, and I started with The Vision of Escaflowne. A gorgeous series, a phenomenal, beautiful visually. Also, the music is gorgeous. Just a top tier show that I really, really like. I just see here. Hold on one second. Coming in hot. I got an email. One of 3 Friday afternoon time slots between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. CDT. All right, let's see. 12, that's 1 p.m. to 3. Okay. Oh, okay. It's an afternoon time slot. All right. Okay. So, I most likely will be doing a Friday afternoon, for Plastic Model Weekender, a Friday afternoon slot on the 27th. And I don't know exactly when that'll be, because now I have to confirm them after the stream is over and get into that. That seems great. Cool. So most likely I will probably take that Thursday off, because if I'm doing Plastic Model Weekender for 2 hours, yes, I'll probably take the 26th off of June, do Plastic Model Weekender on the 27th, and then stream again on the 28th. That's probably what I'll do, which means I'll have Wednesday and Thursday off. My normal days there. Yeah, I'll probably do that, because that way we can raid Plastic Model Weekender that Saturday, and that'll feel good. Because it won't have started on Thursday. It'll be a 3-day event. They did a 4-day, and I think they've kind of figured out they didn't really want to do that. Or maybe they are doing it on Thursday. I can't remember, but we'll probably do that. I'm sorry that I don't remember. Anyway, okay. I have sent all my links. I am going to drink some water. We're going to talk about Lazarus and Apocalypse Hotel in a moment here. Let's see. I gotta check this out here. Yeah. Yes. So I've got all this lined up here, ready to go. And all right. So we are going to talk about some anime. Before I do that, I do need to drink some water. We have to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera. And we're going to do all of that right now. All right. So let's see. Yeah. We got to apply some stickers here, and we have to talk about episode 10 of Lazarus and episode 6 of Apocalypse Hotel. I found out there are 13 episodes of Lazarus. I thought there were only 12, and I was like, man, are we going to really wait until like episode like 11 or 12 before we finally actually find Dr. Skinner? Or maybe we won't find Dr. Skinner. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to fucking do with this shit. But it did seem like we were moving a little slow. But now that I know that there are 13 episodes, it makes more sense. They can be a little slow, as slow as they were doing here. And it does make a bit more sense to me. All right. So, hospitals, a bunch of people are having high fevers, which makes sense because we are only a few days away before everybody's going to get sick and or start dying. So, of course, they're dealing with all of that. You remember there was an assassin set up to go and take out our main character, ostensibly our main character. So we found out that that's a whole thing. So not only to save the world, our guy's going to have to fight off a super killer that they made seem really cool for some reason. Because this show is all about vibes, even if the vibes aren't always good. It remains to be about the vibes. That's the thing with this show. I'm going to put stickers on. I'm going to panel line this, and then I'm going to put on the V-fin right at the end because it's not going to look good, or it's going to be harder to panel line it with the V-fin on there. And so I need stickers. I need these stickers here. More color correcting red stickers. This is going to be on here. All right. Just got to get this on here. All right. And then using my toothpick to flatten this out and get this nice looking good. Get that like that. And then the other sticker goes on the other side. Okay, so yeah, people are getting sick. Everyone's freaking out. Chris starts talking about the pill that they found at that she found at Skinner's residence, and found out that it is a medication that people who had artificial hearts take. So that's a lead. That is a big lead for them. That he may be an artificial heart recipient, which could be trackable or could be easier to track. So that is a big breakthrough for them. But there's no medical record of it happening, so they don't have any proof of it. They just have a theory. There was a private clinic. Hirsch just happens to be like, oh, I heard about something like this, and knew about a private clinic that could do it. So 3 of them go to Leland is like, I probably have something and I can help with this. And he goes to his estranged family's mansion. And Isabella, who is the sister of Leland, is just like, yeah, I'll help you if you spend the weekend with me, like forcing the brother and sister to spend time together, which is like, oh, okay. I mean, they're trying to save the humanity, but like also, yeah, all right. They get the clinic, and they find Leland's father's private doctor is there, and is like, Millie says, yes, Skinner does have an artificial heart, but also the telemetry data, anything you would use to track it, that got completely encrypted. But gives them a copy of the firmware. Let's see. Then they found some footage of an incident at the airport that happened where this is in the past, where Skinner released a prototype of the Hapna, which is the pill that everyone took, after they shot through his briefcase. And apparently, and they do some tracking and figure out, that prototype was in a Arizona prison where it was being tested on inmates, because of course it was being tested on inmates. Why wouldn't it have been tested on inmates? Of course it was. Of course it was. And also, apparently, Axel took that version of the drug and is the sole survivor. That's his connection to Skinner. I knew there would be a connection to Skinner. That's what it is. That's the prison, one of the prisons he escaped from. He took this drug and survived it. That's his connection to why we're doing all this. Of course it is. I was like, oh, of course. Of course. Let's see. So he goes off to try to find the prison doctor, because of course he would know who that is, and maybe they can use that to help track down Skinner. Elena discovers the artificial heart is being monitored from Pakistan, very close to where that hacker that is definitely helping Dr. Skinner is. You may remember that hacker as the best name in the fucking show. That's right, Popcorn Wizard. And so Doug goes with her to Pakistan to try to track down this artificial heart, or at least the person monitoring them. And then as Axel is trying to get to find the prison doctor, a grenade explodes, and then there's a traffic jam, and this is where Soryu, the assassin from the previous episode, starts approaching, because now we're going to have at least an episode of fighting between the two of them while other things happen. We have 3 more episodes of this show. I'm going to see it through. I don't think Lazarus is good. I think Lazarus is an okay show, but I don't think Lazarus is a good show. And I wish it was good. I wish it was a good series, but I just don't think it is. Yeah, I think that's where I'm coming down on it. I think that it is a vibrant show. I think that the music is really good, and the fight choreography whips ass. It should win like best, fight scene in, whatever, at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards next year. Like, it should win that, because I do think that it is very fucking good. Oh, I have to put, I almost forgot the clear pieces here. 5 and 6. I think that the fight choreography is really well done and very visually like engaging and fast paced, but still very easy to follow, and like it just reads. Like, a lot of effort was put into that, but like at the end of the day, I just like this episode was just like, oh, we're going to track down leads and we're going to figure all this stuff out. And we revealed it's episode 10. So it's time that we reveal a big thing about the main character. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Cool. I don't know. I'm down on it. I wish I liked Lazarus more. I really do. I wish that I liked the show more than I do. But right now I am not super keen on it. I would say, like, honestly, the first 2 episodes. I think setting up the world and the premise and then getting to see our characters kind of start to come together is probably all you need to watch. Like, maybe, like, I'm saying that it's only been episode 10. There's 3 more episodes. This could have a change. It could get into high gear. It could, this could be the low key episodes. The fights between Soryu and Axel, or the fight at least, could be so fucking good that I am ashamed of my words and deeds. It could be phenomenal, and I could be like, oh, actually this show whips ass. Sorry for doubting it, but I don't know. All right, Weird Beard is done. The hoses are complete. The back thing is done. This kit is so weird looking. I love it so much. We have now done the head and the chest. And of course, this kit doesn't want to stay up, right? But you can see it there. And then for whatever reason, the next thing we're doing is the shield. I don't know why we're building the shield next instead of the arms, but we're building one of the arms here. We're going to build the shield, and that's fine because that's pretty easy. So we'll get that together and then panel line that and keep going on this kit. Let's see. Apocalypse Hotel, episode 6. They're currently, I believe, 9 episodes out. I'm behind on this show. I do think that, when in between seasons, I will probably start watching multiple episodes of this because I do want to finish this show, but I am a bit behind on it. Our Tanuki folks, apparently it has been 100 years since the last episode, and they're still there because they had crash landed on the planet. They decide after 100 years, we're never going to be able to fix our fucking spaceship. So they just give up on fixing it. And instead, they decide they're going to move out of the hotel because they've been staying at the hotel. They've been the only guests, I think, other than occasional other guests, mostly. So they're like, we're going to build a home. And then, I was talking about how Popcorn Wizard is the best name in Lazarus. Well, guess what? Episode 6 introduces us to the best name for a character in Apocalypse Hotel, and that's Harmageddon. An alien named Harmageddon shows up, and Harmageddon's like, I'm here to eradicate humanity, and then is told humanity left the planet. There's just a family of aliens and me and a bunch of robots. That's a future world champion there, says Lord Crashin. Indeed. Harmageddon is very confused to find out humanity abandoned the planet. And so Harmageddon's just like, well, I guess I'll stay at the hotel for a while. But one thing that's very cool is Harmageddon is great at destroying things, specifically things that are bad, like the big worm creatures, the Nuddles. There was a Nuddle infestation because the Nuddle, you may remember, that is a big giant worm creature that means to eat all the resources. And so Harmageddon takes care of that problem, and that's very good. And so he decides he's going to explore ruins because he wants to learn about humanity because he didn't get the chance to destroy it. So he just kind of wants to learn what's going on there. So he's going to go travel around doing that. Ponko makes a mistake and thinks that Harmageddon and Yachio, our main character Yachio, have romantic feelings for one another. It's a weird little moment. He just completely misreads the situation. But then a bunch of alien heroes show up. We get some like alien kind of Power Ranger superhero types, and they're there to bring Harmageddon to justice because Harmageddon has harmed a lot of, destroyed civilizations and really wreaked havoc. And so they're there for justice. But then Harmageddon is like, wait, if we fight, the hotel could get destroyed. And I like that hotel. So Harmageddon just whoops all their asses. And it's a fun little... There's not a lot of fight... The fight scenes in this are pretty basic. They didn't spend the budget on fight choreography for this one. But it is fairly comical. He just whoops all their butts. And then Yachio treats his wounds. And Harmageddon's just like, you're nice to me in a way that I don't understand. I don't understand why why you want to serve and help me out because I'm a big bad guy. And then she's like, well, why do you destroy civilizations? And he's like, I'm doing it. I only do it for places that are about to destroy themselves. I do it before they can do it. He steps in and does it. And then he kind of, Harmageddon kind of realizes, like, look, if I stay here at this hotel for too long, more of my enemies are going to come to find me. I don't want to put these people at risk. And so he's going to leave. And then says goodbye to everybody. And he, a little loose plot end. Previous episodes, they have been working on trying to get a hot springs put together. So as he leaves, he blasts open a hot spring so that they were trying to drill. And he's like, hey, once you build a civilization that's worth destroying, I'll be back. And he goes. And it was really cute and kind of sad and, just lovely. My favorite character of the spring 2025 season is Harmageddon. It's probably not actually Harmageddon, but he's up there. He fucking whips ass. This is a great character with a lot of depth and just like really fun. Oh, I'm a big fan of Harmageddon from episode 6 of Apocalypse Hotel. Nice Thanos, says Lord Crashton. Yeah, I don't know. It was good. There's like I said, I believe there's gonna be 12 episodes. Right now we've got 9 out there, and I do want to get caught up, because I am behind on it. But yeah, I've heard episode 7 gets fucking weird in a show that is already pretty weird. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, we did our shields, which is kind of small and basic, but looks good with some panel lining on there. So that's nice. Oops. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to zoom in just a touch. Just a tad. All right, we can start getting working on one of our arms here. We're moving pretty quick. This kit should not take super long to build. I don't think we're going to finish it on Thursday, but I think we'll be mostly done with it on Thursday. I don't know. Maybe we'll finish it on Thursday. Because we'll have, let's see, arms and the gun, and then the legs and the waist. Yeah, because this kit doesn't have a backpack of any kind. Yeah, so I think we're going to finish this during the stream on Saturday. That's my guess. You know what, actually, why don't we build the gun? The gun is easy. We could just put that together. It's just got one sticker and old parts here. Because we already did the shield. I don't know why we do the shield now, but we might as well just do the gun as well. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you folks. What are you working on right now? What are you up to? What are you into? You working on any model kits or anything like that? You watching any anime or TV shows? You go to the movies? What you do this weekend? Is there any standouts from the various Summer Game Fest stuff that you want to shout out that maybe I didn't? I'd love to hear from you about that. If there's anything that you're up to or into in that regard, or just like, stuff you got going on. Please let me know. Throw that in the chat. I love to see that stuff. Myself, your friend Pat, right now, yesterday I watched some wrestling with some folks, and that was fun in the evening. I had a meeting for a work thing scheduled for Wednesday about a job, like a actual real job that would have been nice to have. That meeting has been postponed. They have not told me when we'll be meeting again because this entertainment company that I would be working for, which I will not name because I don't work there. This entertainment company found out when everyone else did that one of their biggest clients is going through some weird changes. One of their biggest clients that they work for is Warner Brothers Discovery. And Warner Brothers Discovery announced that they are going to split up at some point this year into 2 companies. And so the company that I was going to have a meeting with is like, we don't know what that means for us. So we have new meetings scheduled. Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button. I will hit the dance button. It's an odd time for that, Lord Crashington, but I will do that. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here it is. But yeah, so my meeting on Wednesday has been indefinitely postponed because they are all freaking out about their biggest client going through something, and apparently they are not on the chain to know that stuff. They found out in Variety, like a lot of other people did. So yeah, I would have liked that. Like I said, that job still might be there. That job might be gone. They might be all freaking out. Who knows? But they were caught off guard, and they would like more time to have meetings and deal with other stuff. Try to get some answers. So I have some free time on Wednesday I wasn't expecting. Other than that, video game-wise, I'll tell you while I'll give you guys some time to write in the chat what you got going on, what you're up to, what you're into. For me, gaming-wise, I have been playing let's see, Hearthstone. You know me, I'm always in the Hearthstone thing. Doing okay with some of the decks that I've been working on lately. I played Arena a bit. They revamped Arena in Hearthstone, where it's now not like 12 games and you lose 3 and you're out. Now it's 5 games, you lose 2 and you're out, which does make Arena faster, but I don't know why they revamped Arena now of all times, but they did. And so I played some of it. I don't know, I just figured I would do that. I did watch Jeff Gersman on Giant Bomb, and that's a weird sentence to say. Like, that's still a weird thing to say. It was weird to see. It was just weird to see him on a couch talking about stuff, and it's just strange to see him on a Giant Bomb thing. Like, cool but weird. It was especially interesting to watch him on a Giant Bomb thing that was sponsored by a video game publisher and a video game, which I get a vibe that Jeff would have never done. But that's not, Giant Bomb hasn't been his baby for a very long time. So, but it was still interesting to see him on a thing that is, sponsored by a video game or video games, like pretty close, close to it. It was just a weird thing. It's just weird to see Jeff there. But fun and cool and part of our strange. Yes, he did win a prize. He did win a Funko Pop. Big wins. Dan doing the weird stuff. Corporate GB didn't really need sponsors for an E3 event. No, it was part of their budget. But of course, these guys don't have a budget. But also, they didn't. The last few things of E3, they still also did have sponsorships for that because doing that setup is expensive. Even if you have a budget, it's still very pricey. But often you wouldn't do that. You would instead reach out to non-video game related funding. But this is an example that doesn't quite work. Well, it works. There was a board game that sponsored the podcast years ago. Sponsored the podcast. Did an ad, and Jeff was like, "Okay, well, we can't play that game ever." Secret Hitler sponsored the podcast, so we can never play that game because, that was his core belief of Jeff. And it's interesting to have him on the couch as well with Greg, because Greg Miller, and by extension, of course, Kind of Funny, does partner things all the time. They have all kinds of partnered things. They host things for game companies, Greg in particular, but they do videos, and they've had podcasts that have been sponsored as well by games that are coming out, which they've talked about those games. And that is there's a newer new media thing than Jeff, who is obviously very old school, has done. And so it is interesting to see, Jeff had mentioned on there, doing some more hosting stuff, trying to figure out how to fill in that, because that does increase the amount of people that know who you are, and the visibility, all that, and sometimes paid and all those things. But then it becomes a thing of okay, well, for Jeff, it becomes the issue of okay, well, if I'm hosting this, if they're bringing me down for this thing and I'm going to host it, if it's a game company, do I say, and of course, folks, I have hosted a panel, do I have to say that for the rest of my life? In the same way that Alex Navarro would talk about working at Harmonix when Rock Band would come up, because he worked for them. And he, if he's talking about video games and he talks about a Harmonix game, he has to remind people, he has to disclose, because it's the ethical thing to do. Hey, these people used to pay me, so take my opinion on this with a grain of salt, which is the right thing to do. But other people don't vibe that way, and it makes sense. I also think it's a bit different because Jeff's Giant Bomb was still a journalism site. But yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Yes, but also Jeff doesn't do that anymore. But that in that way, but Jeff still is going yes, they're different companies, they're different vibes, but there's still that thing of, well, we don't do that shit. And that's the thing where Jeff has to now figure out what lines is he willing to blend or blur or cross, now that he still reviews games. He's still a game reviewer. He still writes reviews and posts them on his Patreon and makes those free so people can read them. He's still a games critic. It's just that he does not have a publication behind him anymore. He is a solo, but he's still a critic. So he's okay. He doesn't disclose when he's got games for, I paid for this game my own money. I got this for free. Because he's from a time and a place where you do get code in advance and you do get things for free. When I play a game on stream that I got for free, I make sure to market that, or to note that, because for me, that's very important for me to tell you, oh, actually, I got a code for this. That's incredibly important for me to tell you, because you might not know that otherwise, and you might just go, oh, Pat's playing this game, he must have bought it with his own money. And I want you to know. It's still, it's different. So that's my thing. Lashbrook, you don't have to write reviews to influence. If they play an Annapurna game, then that without reminding people, Annapurna paid us money. Annapurna gave us money so we could do a thing. Then that is a conflict of interest. It's a direct conflict of interest. Anytime they play any game published by Annapurna on stream, at a quick look, it's a conflict of interest. Unless they disclose and remind you once again. Because they are influenced by it. And it's obviously influenced by it. The difference is that some people don't give a shit about that. Some people have never given a shit about that. But also, if you think of Giant Bomb as a bunch of streamers, then you can choose to hold them to different standards than they would maybe hold for themselves, or that other people would hold for them if they were, writing reviews and doing all of that. But again, there are also a lot of people out there that don't read reviews, but they listen to podcasts. And if Jan is talking about this game that came out from Annapurna Interactive that's really cool, and Jan doesn't say, and of course, reminder to take what I'm saying here with a grain of salt, because they helped fund our show. You can say it's fine for them to take money from Warhammer, or from Warplanes or whatever they got, because they don't play that video game, World of War Tanks or whatever, and it's fine to take money from them because they're not going to play that game. It's like, yeah, I mean that certainly is a thing you can take away from there. You can look at that and go, well, yeah, it's fine, but like they're gonna play some Annapurna games. Annapurna produces a lot of games. Like they're gonna play them, and it's fine. You can say it's fine to take that money if you then disclose. But for some people, I can understand why they would say, you don't fucking take money from Annapurna, ever. You would never take money from Annapurna. Because you talk about video games. Like, if your top 10 list has... if 4 out of your top 10 list are Annapurna games at the end of the year, and you don't remind people that they paid for you to do a thing, then it's questionable. Even if I like the person that made that list, it's still questionable. If they're like, hey, 4 out of my favorite 10 games were all just happen to be published by Annapurna, and they don't also go, and a reminder to take what I'm saying here about this Annapurna game with a grain of salt, because they, they gave us X amount of dollars, and you don't say how much, but you do, you say that. So it's a thing to just like, I don't know. You want the complete story and you want to put it out there. I'd hope they'd at least mention sponsorships when talking about their games. Yes. And again, I will say this. Obviously, doing what they did, doing the whole show, putting that all out there, that costs money. That's a thing. That's not free. And they are now a small team trying to do the stuff on a similar scale to what they were doing before. And I respect the hell out of that. And I think that's awesome. Jeff Grubb talked about backing a Kickstarter for a game during an unfinished he did for the game. Great. That's awesome. And then if that game, when it comes out, and when he plays it again, I hope he mentions it again. Lord Crashington, you don't have to defend anyone from this. I think they made a mistake, but they can do right by it if they want to. But that's just my feeling on it. Like, I think taking money from Annapurna is a mistake. I just think that. Yes, he also should have opened with it and not... It should have been the opening line. Hey, let's check out this game. Just so you know, I backed this on Kickstarter. Anyway, here we go. Like, yeah. If I can fucking do it, and I'm fucking small time. I'm small potatoes when it comes to this stuff. But I still disclose, as I've said, Islands and Trains, the game I am playing tomorrow. I'm playing tomorrow, Islands and Trains. I received a code for it. This is not a sponsored stream. They did not pay me to play the game. They offered me a code for it, and I am playing it in June, despite it coming out in May, because that's just how my schedule worked out. And that's the best I can do for it. But it seems like a neat game, and I am excited to play it. But again, I'm just, I try to disclose that stuff because it's important. If I was on a certain level, you would expect that that I might be getting code and I might be getting games early and all that. But I am not on the level of that, so it is easier for me to disclose. Just put it out there. But yeah, conflicts of interest are tough. They're tough out there, and it's tough to. It's important, but I do think it's important to put those things out there. And then again, the easiest way to avoid conflicts of interest is to not do it. Is to say, actually, I'm not gonna. And that's hard because that's money on the table. And if you're just like, well, we're influencers, so like it's not the same thing as when we worked for a big website and had a parent company. It's like, yeah, it is different. I'm not saying it's not different. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it isn't the first year that Warframe sponsored the show. You're right. You're right, Lastbrook. It's not the first year. Yes, Lord Crashington. I'm not saying that they took it. They obviously needed it. to do what they were going to do. But my response to that is, you don't have to. And that's my response when people say, well, yeah, I feel bad about taking this money, but I wanted to have money. Because that's what it is, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. We wanted to accomplish this thing. We needed funding to do that. We took funding to do that. To which I will reply in this and many other instances, you didn't have to, though. You chose to. You compromised in order to do the thing you wanted to do. But then you have to live with that compromise. And accept that people might say, hey, but again, yes, they have done sponsorships for the fact that they've taken money from Warframe before is like shitty then. I will still say that is shitty and probably not the way to go, because they don't like that's a game. They talk about video games. There should be there should be a line. And I know I'm almost 45. I'm an old man about this stuff. I understand that. But in the same way that I would never, ever believe anything that Greg Miller says about Ghostbusters. If there's a new Ghostbusters video game, I would never believe a word that Greg Miller said about it. Because that man is not objective objectivity is subjective, but he is not objective when it comes to that franchise. And so I would never look to him for thoughts on that. But now, anytime an Annapurna game comes up in conversation and it's a giant bomb person, I have to go, okay. That sucks that I have to think like that. I have to go, all right. Anyway, I did not expect to be talking about that. I am sorry that is where our end of stream conversation went, but that is where it went. These conversations will happen in a variety of ways over time, and we'll talk about more of those as they happen. But right now, I am going to find someone for us to raid. We're going to go hang out. That's how we end every stream here, is with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff. Mary Kish is streaming. Mary Kish is playing the video game Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, which is a Metroidvania that looks cute and fun. So we'll check in with the lovely Mary Kish. Always a pleasure to go see Mary. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your stream, or your night, I should say. I hope you come along on this raid as we go hang out with Mary. I hope you will come back for more shenanigans tomorrow night as we check out a cool indie title, which again, I received a code for. It is not a sponsor stream though. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope to see you again. And yeah, goodbye everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.